In the last lecture, we have studied how to find out the range for raw data, discrete data, and group data. Now we will learn what are the merits and demerits of the range. As the first point, the range is not based on entire observation. As we know, the formula for the range is L minus S. So it depends upon the largest value and the smallest value. Indirectly, it depends upon only two values of the observation and it is not considering the rest. That's why this is not a good measure of dispersion. It is not considering all the observation. Second thing, the range is very much affected by the fluctuation of the sampling. This is a very important point. If there is a fluctuation in the largest value or the smallest value, the rest remains the same. Assume that, let us take an example here. You have 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Suppose this last observation changes to 23. In the place of 13, it becomes 23. Now, here in the case 1, let us take this as the first case as 13. The range is going to be uh, largest value minus the smallest value, that is 13 minus 2. That comes as 11. Now, suppose this one of the number from here, which is the smallest or largest, we can change anyone. Let us take the this one 2 as 12. I have changed only one observation. Now, what is the range here? Range becomes the smallest is here 5 now, largest is 13. So it becomes 5 minus 13 minus 5, the largest minus the smallest one. That comes as 8. See, just I have changed the one observation, and because of that, there is a sudden change in the range. So here I have not changed the rest of the numbers. The rest of the numbers has been kept as it is. I have changed only one number, and just because of one number, there is a big difference. So if there is a small fluctuation, a big fluctuation in the sample, range will be affected very much. If the smallest and largest observation of the distribution are unaltered and all other values are replaced by the set of observation within these values, that is the smallest and largest and the smallest, the range of the distribution remains same. Let us take the example for this one. Suppose you have the numbers as 2, 5, 7, 11, 13, 15, and 20. Now, what they are saying, if you are keeping the smallest and largest as it is, the smallest is 2, largest is 20. Now, what is range here? Range is largest minus the smallest. It is 20 minus 2, it comes as 18. Now, they're saying that if you change these numbers in between numbers, which are not the part of the largest and the smallest one, which is not actually the largest and smallest one. If we change this one and keep that within the range between 2 to 80, 2 to 20, the range will remain same. Let us take the example. I'm keeping 2 as it is. I'm keeping 20 as it is. I'm changing the number from here in between 2 to 20. I'm making it 15, 18, 17, 16, 19. Assume that I have replaced these five numbers by these five numbers 18, 15, 18, 17, 16, and 19. Earlier it was 5, 7, 11, 13, and 15. Now, what is the impact of that on the range? So here, range, that is largest minus the smallest. It comes as 20 minus 2. It is again 18. 20 minus 2 is 18. So it is still 18. The range is the same. So if we change the numbers which are not the part of that is the which is not either largest or a smallest one, and if we're changing the rest of the number within that range, the range will not be changed. This answer, the value of the range will not change, and that's why we say that it is not a good measure of dispersion. Let's go back and see what is the next point. Next point says that the range cannot be used if we are dealing with the open classes. This is another very, very important thing. I will explain it by taking the example. Let us see the case here, the class interval type. It is just starting from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and the last one is a 50 and above. Here you have a, this is CI and you have been given frequency. Let us take that as a 10, 8, 15, 20, 8, and 7. Now, what is the smallest observation here? That is 0, the smallest value. That is 0. What is the largest? Largest is not given. It is above 50 we know, but what is that number we don't know. In that case, the largest value is not known. Therefore, we cannot calculate, range and coefficient of range. Okay, that was the last point, fourth point, that these are the drawbacks of the range. But still, range is being used in many fields. It's not like there are only the drawbacks. There are some plus point also. We are using the range in different field. A meteorological department जहाँ पे हमें डेली टेम्परेचर बताया जाता है, आज का टेम्परेचर लोवेस्ट ये था, हाईएस्ट ये था. People are interested in range there. उनको एग्जैक्ट क्या वैल्यूज बीच में आ रहे हैं, दोपहर को क्या है, सुबह में क्या है, और 10 बजे क्या है, 1 बजे क्या है. दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट. पीपल आर इंटरेस्टेड व्हाट वाज द लोएस्ट टेम्परेचर रिकॉर्डेड टुडे, व्हाट वाज द हाईएस्ट टेम्परेचर रिकॉर्डेड टुडे, and then they just try to find out what is the range. But here the thing is, every day there will not be big difference between the smallest and the largest. The range will not be a very different in different days of a particular week or particular month. So the range is used in that. Now, when we see the companies doing the production, they just see what is the lowest production in a day, what is the largest maximum number of production in a day, then they can just find out what is the range between the which they are making the product, that is per day production of that particular product. So there are many areas. If you think about the marks of student in the class, teacher uses the range. Like suppose the teacher generally says that बच्चे का marks 5 से 10 के बीच में ही आया या 5 से 20 के बीच में आया हुआ. That means they're just focusing on the smallest number and the largest number, and they're trying to do the calculation on the concept of range. What is the deviation from the largest and smallest one? That is the range here. So there are many areas where the range is being used. It is the simplest form of deviation, but it has a lot of problems also. Now, coming to the next, here the fifth point, the range is not suitable for mathematical treatment. It is very sensitive to the size of samples. As the sample size increases, the range tends to increase. See, if you are changing the numbers and going ahead and ahead from a starting point, which is a lower value, and you're going on higher side, the range will go on increasing. And as fifth point is, a range is not suitable for mathematical operations, mathematical treatment, because it is just giving you the difference between the highest and the lowest. So we try to avoid using treatment. That means if one day range is given, another day range is given, it is not like if we'll add, it will become the double range up for the next day. It's not like that. So that has a range has a limitation that we do not treat mathematical operations on it. आगे बढ़ते हैं हम कि अब हमारे पास नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है. जैसे मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में बताया था प्रीवियस लेक्चर में, रेंज की बात में हमारा नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट था how to find out quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Uh, Before finding the quartile deviation and yeah, before going to directly to quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation, we need to know how to find out the quartiles first. You have done that in the chapter of measure of central tendency and the partition values. You have done their quartiles and percentile deciles. Now we will be having a quick revision of that, and then we will be learning how to find out the quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Let us have an example of it. Uh, Find quartile deviation. We call this as a semi-interquartile range. Quartile deviation in the short form we call that as QD. Uh, for the following data. Let us assume that you have been given the quartiles first. Suppose you have been given Q1 that is 5, Q2 that is 10, and Q3 that is third quartile that is 15. Now you have to find out the quartile deviation. The formula for that is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. This is nothing but 15 minus 5 divided by 2. 15 of minus 5 is 10. 10 divided by 2 comes as 5. Now, this quartile deviation, QD, is also known as a semi-interquartile range. Always remember, QD is also called as semi-interquartile range. What is quartile range? Quartile range is Q3 minus Q1. And if you divide it by 2, it becomes semi-interquartile range. Semi-interquartile range is nothing but the quartile deviation. Suppose we are interested to find out the coefficient of quartile deviation also. So, coefficient of quartile deviation. The formula for that, we call that as a CQD in the short form. CQD is nothing but Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. Now, as in the case of range and coefficient of range, it was this formula is very similar to that. In that we have a smallest and largest value, and here we have Q3 and Q1 in that case. So the formula is in the same pattern. In the case of coefficient of range, we had L minus S divided by L plus S. Similarly, here in the case of quartile deviation, we will have a Q3 and Q1. So it will be Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. Now let us substitute the values here. Go back and see what was Q3 and Q1 given in the question. Here Q1 is 5 and Q3 is 15. So we will take these values, we will substitute in the formula. It is 15 minus 5 divided by 15 plus 5. So it comes as a 15 minus 5 is 10, 15 plus 5 is 20, 10 divided by 20 comes as 0.5. So coefficient of quartile deviation, that is QD, that comes as 0.5. Now here the situation was like quartiles are already given to you. They have not asked that find out the quartile and then find out quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Suppose we have given the raw data, then how to find out quartiles first, and then you will be using the formula to find out quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Now, when it comes to the relative dispersion and absolute dispersion, coefficient of quartile deviation is a relative measure because here numerator and denominator have the same unit and that gets cancelled. So quartile coefficient of quartile deviation is unitless. it does not have any unit. It is in the because of the ratio format. So whenever you have a coefficient of quartile division, we say that it is a part of relative measure of dispersion. And जब कभी भी हम बात करते हैं quartile deviation की, तो quartile deviation जो है वो absolute measure of dispersion में काउंट किया जाता है. So quartile division will have a unit, and coefficient of quartile division will not have any unit in it. Now we will learn how to find out the uh, quartiles for the raw data, and then we will be using the formula to find out the quartile division and coefficient of quartile division for the raw data. Let us have the sum based on that. Suppose you have been given the set of numbers and the question is find out quartile division and coefficient of quartile division. Let us have the example of that type. Find QD, that is quartile division, and CQD, coefficient of quartile division, for the following data. Let us take the numbers are 2, 3, 5, 6, 4, 8, 7, 3, 6. Now, question is to find out quartile division and coefficient of quartile deviation. That means we need to first find out Q1 and Q3. If we have a Q1 and Q3, then we can find out quartile division and coefficient of quartile deviation. Let us go to the solution. The first step towards finding any partition value, whether it is a quartile, decile, percentile, or median, the first thing is to arrange the data in ascending order. Arranging the given data in ascending order. So the smallest one is 2, then comes as 3, then comes as a 4. 3 is repeated 2 times. So 3 and 3, then it is 4. After that is a 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 is repeated twice. 5, then 6 is repeated twice. Then 7 and 8. Now we need to count the number of observations given in the question and the number of observations in the ascending order. Here we have the first observation, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, nine. 9 observations are given to us. In the question, we will tally that with the ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means both the scenario have the same number of elements. That means we have not missed out any while doing the ascending order. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर जब कभी हमसे नंबर कोई छूट जाता है तो इसकी टैली जो काउंटिंग होती है कितने नंबर्स आपको क्वेश्चन में दिए गए हैं कितना आपने असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में रखा है अगर दोनों को आप काउंट कर लेंगे तो अगर कोई डिफरेंस आ रहा है दैट मीन्स आपसे कोई नंबर छूट गया और अगर मैच हो रहा है दैट मीन्स यू हैव कंसीडर्ड ऑल द नंबर्स देन वी विल गो टू द नेक्स्ट. We will count the number of observations, that is n. Here in this case, as we have counted that there are 9 numbers, so n is equal to 9. Coming to the next, that is finding the quartiles. Here is a general formula: qi is equal to I into n plus 1 upon 4th of observation. So if we are interested to find out Q1, I will be replaced by 1. If we are interested to find Q2, I will replace by 2. And if it is Q3, then I will be replaced by 3. Now, what is going to be Q1 first? I'm writing in the place of I, I'm writing 1. So it is going to be in the place of I, it is going to be 1 into n plus 1 upon 4th observation. Is it clear? Now, what is going to be the Q2? Let us go to the next page. So Q2, that is nothing but 2 into n plus 1 upon 4th observation. Now coming to next, that is Q3. If you look at the formula, Qi is equal to I into, so here in the place of I am writing 3. So that side also it will be 3 n plus 1 upon 4th observation. Is it clear? Now we will calculate what is Q1. Q1 is equal to 1 into n came as 9 9 plus 1 divided by fourth observation. Now we will calculate 9 plus 1 as 10. 10 upon 4, that is a 2.5th observation. Now 2.5th observation will fall under 2 and 3, second observation and third observation. So we will take this one, we will write second observation plus 0.5 into the difference between that is it is in between two second and third observation, so it is going to be third minus second observation. Okay, so we will go back and we will see in the ascending order what was the second observation and third observation. After arranging in the ascending order, second observation as 3, and for the next, that is we require third observation. The third observation is also 3. सेकंड ऑब्जर्वेशन एंड थर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन हमें दोनों चाहिए था, दोनों के नंबर सेम हो गए, दैट इज 3 and 3. We will substitute here. Second observation is 3 plus 0.5 into third is 3 and second is also 3. So 3 minus 3 will become 0. 0 into 0.5 is 0. So it is 3 plus 0. It comes as 3. This is Q1. Now we got Q1. The next step is to find out Q3. We are not requiring, means there is no need of the Q2, so we will be not calculating Q2. Let us go to the next page and do the calculation for Q2. Sorry, not Q2, it is Q3. That is going to be 3 into n plus 1 upon fourth observation. So it is going to be 3 into n is given as 9, 9 plus 1 upon fourth observation. 9 plus 1 is 10, 10 upon 4 is 2.5. So it is going to be 3 into 2. It was 10 divided by 4, that was 2.5. The observation. It comes as 2.5 into 3, 7.5th observation. Now, if we look at this one, Q3, that is 7.5th observation, we can write that as a 7th observation plus, what is the extra part? 0.5. 0.5. This answer is in between 7 and 8th observation. So higher will be 8th observation minus 7th observation. Okay. So let us have the calculation part. 7th observation, let us go back and see which one is the 7th. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6. This is 7th observation. This is 8th observation. 7th observation is 6. 7th observation is 7. Now, it is 6 plus 0.5 into 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. 1 into 0.5 is 0.5. It is 6 plus 0.5. It comes as 6.5. So we got Q3 also. Now we have a Q1 and Q3, so we can find out quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Let us do that on the next page. We have Q1, we have got Q3. Now let us go back and see what are the answers. Q1 came as 3 and Q3 came as 6.5. So it is 3 and 6.5. The question is find out quartile deviation, that is QD, that is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So it becomes 6.5 minus 3 divided by 2. 6.5 minus 3 is going to be 3.5 divided by 2. So just to go on simplifying this one, you will get the final answer. It will be 2 1 jar 2, 1 is remainder, it comes here. It becomes 15, 2 7, 2 7 jar 14, then 1 remainder, 2 5 10. So we got QD The next thing, 1 minute, here in the decimal place is the issue. It is going to be 1.75. Okay. So 3.5 divided by 2 is 1.75. We have got quartile deviation. The next thing is coefficient of quartile deviation, coefficient of QD. That comes as Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. So here Q3 is a 6.5 minus it is going to be Q1, that is 3 divided by 6.5 plus 3. So 6.5 minus 3 is 3.5 and this is going to be 9.5. So if you remove the decimal, it becomes 35 upon 95. This is the coefficient of quartile deviation. CQD is equal to this. Okay. I hope the concept is very clear. Here we have taken the raw data and we have calculated quartiles first, then I have used the formula of quartile division and coefficient of quartile division to get the answer of quartile division and coefficient of quartile division. Always remember in short form, quartile division को हम QD बोलते हैं और coefficient of quartile division को हम CQD से लिखते हैं. अभी हम नेक्स्ट सम पे आते हैं जिसमें हमें डिस्क्रीट डेटा दिया रहेगा और हम वहां पे क्वार्टाइल्स निकालेंगे उसके बाद कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ क्वार्टाइल डिवीजन एंड क्वार्टाइल डिवीजन कैलकुलेट करेंगे. Let us take another question. In that we will learn how to find out quartile deviation and indirectly first we will calculate quartiles, then we will be going for the quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation. Let us take the new sum. Find QD and CQD for the following data. Let us take that example as X and F. Let us take the case here X is equal to 2, 4, 5, 7 and the frequencies are 2, 6, 10, 1. It is just an assumption. These are the values given to you. You have to find QD and coefficient of QD. Now what to do? First we will be writing this in the tabular form in vertical. It is in horizontal form. We will write in the vertical form. So this solution we have got X, we have F. That is 2, 4, 5, 7. Here it is 2, 6, 10 and 1. We have to calculate cumulative frequency CF. The first number, this will remain as it is, that is 2. Then this number will be added to this one. It becomes 2 plus 6, that is equal to 8. 8 plus 10, that is 18. We will write here 18. And 18 plus 1, that is going to be 19. Is it clear? So we have X, we have F. So we have just calculated CF column. Okay. Now, once we have a CF, we will be directly calculating which one is the Q3 and which one is Q1. Q1, that is n plus 1 upon 4th observation. तो I की वैल्यू यहाँ पे 1 होती थी, यहाँ पे 1 लिखने की जरूरत नहीं होती, इसके लिए हमने n plus 1 upon 4th observation लिखा. Now what is n? N is nothing but the sum of cumulative frequency, that is sum of frequencies. It is going to be 90. Okay. Now coming to the formula part here, n plus 1 upon 4. We are saying n plus 1 upon 4th observation कौन सी x के लिए correspond करेगा. We have to calculate that. We will be just substituting the value of n, so it is going to be 19 plus 1 upon 4, that is 20 upon 4, that is 5th observation. Now, if you look at CF, till 2 is the first value of x, and 2 to 8, from 2 onward till 8, it is going to be the second observation. 8 to 18, it is going to be third observation, that is 4 to 5, and 18 to 19, it will be 5 to. That will be 18 to 19 is going to be, here was, sorry, it is 18 plus 1, we got 19. Now, the question is, where is going to be the fifth observation? It will be between 2 to 8. If you look at the number, it will be 2 to 8, but it is greater than 2 and less than 8, so it will fall under this one. Always remember, whenever you are finding quartiles, that is positional observation, procedure is same. In the case of quartile, decile, percentile, you need to understand one with the full confidence that if you know these, you can get the answer in that. Now here, fifth observation. This is first two observation are 2 to 8. It means that it is repeated 6 times here. So 4 is repeated 6 times. So here what is the answer? Fifth observation will fall under this highlighted area. That is going to be 4. Now coming to the next, we will calculate how to find out Q3. Let us have some Q3, that is 3 into n plus 1 upon fourth observation. Coming to n, that is 19 plus 1 upon fourth observation. Yeah, right. This observation number on this side. Now 19 plus 1 is 20. 20 divided by 4. So what is the answer for this? It is going to be 3 into 19 plus 1 is 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So 3 5s are 15. That is 15th observation. Now we need to see what is the 15th observation in the list. Till 8 is going to be the second, and from 8 till 16 is going to be the next. So it is in between 10 to 18, and it is less than 18, so it becomes it will fall under this one. So what is going to be the value of x here? That is 5. So here that 15th observation is equal to 5. Now we have a Q1 and Q3. We can find out QD, that is L minus S, that is here. Q3 came as 5 and Q1 was 4. So 5 minus 4, that comes as 1. Is it clear? It is about quartile division. The next one is coefficient of quartile division. We call that as a CQD. CQD is equal to L minus S divided by L plus S. So it is going to be 5 minus 4 divided by 5 plus 4. So it is going to be 1 upon 9. Is it clear? Yes or no? Hello. Here, by mistake, I had written L and S. It is not L and S. It is Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. The values which were there, I have taken that only. There was a correction in the formula. It was by mistake I had written for the coefficient of range. It is not the coefficient of range. It is coefficient of quartile division. So all the values are going to be in terms of Q. Now, what we have done is how to find out the quartile deviation for the raw data and discrete data. The next part which is pending is how to find out the quartile deviation for the group data. That we will be learning in the next class. And तब तक के लिए आप प्रैक्टिस कीजिए, थोड़े और समझ लीजिए, और नेक्स्ट क्लास में मैं ट्राई करूंगा कि आपके लिए कुछ क्वेश्चंस, प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन दे दो तो आप उसको प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं। अगर आपको कहीं पे कॉन्सेप्ट में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, वीडियो को पॉज कीजिए, थोड़ा सा ध्यान से फिर से पढ़िए एंड रिपीट कीजिए, और फिर आपको ये कॉन्सेप्ट सारे समझ में आ जाएंगे। सो हम मिलते हैं अगले क्लास में। अगर आपको लगता है कि ये वीडियो आपके लिए फायदेमंद था, कुछ इससे आपको समझ में आया, कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़े क्लियर हुए, तो आप वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, और अपने फ्रेंड्स में इसको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सर्कुलेट कर लीजिए, जिससे सबको थोड़ा बेनिफिट मिल जाएगा।